Self-checks every woman should do. Make it or break it dating tips for men. New plus-size clothing for the kids. Good morning and welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I'm Michelle Yarn.
If the only time you use the zoom side of your mirror is when you're tweezing your brow or getting at that pimple, then you could be missing out on some crucial 411 about your health. Here are 3 self-checks you should be doing every morning. Your nails. If you see dark lines on the nail beds, it could mean a red flag for skin cancer. The disease can also develop under your nails. Yellowish, brown, or black stripes are a sign of cell damage, possibly from melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. With early detection and treatment, about 95% of cases are curable, so have your dermatologist take a second look. Your armpits. If you see a patch of rough, dark skin, it could be a sign of diabetes. Excess insulin in your bloodstream can cause skin cells to multiply fast, leading to a buildup of tissue and melanin. This makes the skin look darker and feel thicker. A simple blood test can determine whether you have the disease. And your eyelids, knees, and elbows. If you see small, soft lumps that look white or waxy, it could mean you have high cholesterol. By the time they develop, most docs believe your levels are already sky high. See your doctor for a cholesterol check and ask about lifestyle changes or prescription medication to help you get those levels down.
When you turn on your TV tonight, the same show will be playing across several networks. But don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your TV. It's part of Stand Up to Cancer, a joint effort by the networks of ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC, as well as several other networks to raise money to fight cancer. And there are some famous faces helping the cause.
I don't think there's anyone who isn't affected in some way or another by cancer.
One of my best friends just passed away recently at 22 years old from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Every step we take closer to kicking cancer in the behind, the happier I'm going to be.
I stand up to cancer.
Stand up to cancer.
I stand up to cancer.
According to Stand Up for Cancer, 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetimes.
It's less common these days for anyone to get married in their early 20s, but according to a recent survey, a deadline for tying the knot still exists among college women.
Okay.
D-Day, the big 3-0. Of the respondents, 85% said that they'd like to be married by the age of 30. Specifically, 47% said they'd like to get married between the age of 25 and 27. Another 21% said they'd like to tie the knot between 28 and 30. And 17% want to walk down the aisle by their 25th birthday.
Wow. And it seems today's college women want it all, but in a good way. They want a career before they have a kid. So what age would they like to start a family? 77% of respondents said they wanted to have children at some point in the future, while 17% said they weren't sure. And about 40% said they'd like to have their first child between the ages of 28 and 30, while 28% said they're open to starting a family during their 30s.
I think that's good. I think the 20s are meant for you to explore yourself and kind of find out who you are as a person, and then your 30s are perfect to find out who you are with another person.
They just have to be careful. It seems really specific, you
yes.
know, and if you set yourself up for this and then you don't meet it, what happens then?
Or you marry somebody just because you want to meet that deadline. Before you can even think of marriage, there has to be a guy who qualifies as husband material, right? If you're still single and ready to mingle, here are some key dating points from men. Pen and paper out, ladies. Do your own thing. Don't let a man be the center of your universe. If you make a man your entire life, he's going to lose interest because he will most likely feel smothered. Don't overindulge on a date. While you might think it's cute to have 3 glasses of wine at dinner, he doesn't. Let him get to know you as you are, sober, or maybe with just 1 glass of wine. Don't call him all the time. Let him call you. Listen to your mother. She was right about this. If you're consistently calling, texting, emailing, and doing all the chasing, the guy doesn't have to do anything. Find balance when it comes to communicating. And don't forget, guys love a good chase. What's your opinion, Michelle?
Well, I honestly think that once you relax a little bit and just kind of let it happen, it always tends to happen that way with anything in life. It's
when
like
you're least expecting it.
Yeah, when you're too focused, again, on making it happen, you just, I think you just make it harder for yourself.
True.
All right, well, on to shopping. You may have noticed while back to school shopping for the kiddos that more stores have started offering plus size lines for the kids. And sure, it's a billion-dollar industry and there's certainly a market for the clothes, but does labeling kids so early on in life set them up for a life of feeling ashamed of their bodies? Some say yes. Now Gap, Forever 21, Old Navy, and Target, they all offer bigger clothes for kids. And now Sears is the most recent to offer its Pretty Plus collection, and that's for girls between 7 and 10.
Now, see, this isn't really anything new because back in the day they had Garanimals and they also
Yeah.
had Huskies. And everybody knew if you wore Huskies, you were a little bit on the large side.
But see, that's the thing for boys to be labeled husky.
Yeah.
It's a little more like a playful sound, but plus size, some people think that will make girls a little bit self-conscious about
Sure.
themselves.
Well, you know, body image and low self-esteem is something that most parents are having to deal with on a daily basis, so that is true. All right, moving on, our next story about bikinis, well, actually, about weight. Lots of things make people overweight, too much food, drink, and not enough exercise. And one more thing to add to the list, your computer. Check this out. New research reveals for every 10% spike in what a country spends on technology, there is a 1% increase in its obesity rates. And it's not just the time spent at your desk and on sofas. Technology also changes the way people eat, adding even more pounds than the lack of exercise alone would. The study started in 1988, wrapped in 2009, and covered 27 countries. The most obese on the list, the good old US of A,
surprise.
followed by Mexico, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Now on to bikinis. It is always bikini season somewhere, right?
True.
Okay.
Hey.
So who could blame a beach babe for wanting to make the most of a fantastic two-piece? Especially if you're the Duchess of Alba. The 86-year-old is a regular on the European beach circuit and is seen quite frequently with her hubby, 20 years her junior, I might add.
Now, when Helen Mirren rocked a bikini at age 63, the consensus seemed to be, you know, if you've got it, flaunt
She
it.
looks amazing.
Yeah, but the Duchess has 20-something years on that, and we just want to know what you think of it. Is it just too much skin for someone her age to be showing, or should she keep embracing life to the fullest, as she clearly does every single day?
I say embrace life. We always talk about
I do
the
too.
nude beaches. It's always the people that really probably shouldn't be naked
Yep.
who are nude.
But you know what? Why do you have to worry about what everybody else thinks? If
Exactly.
you're happy, go ahead and do it.
Bingo.
Have some fun. And from string bikinis to bras, we're taking a look at the brazier's well-rounded history. In 1858, that was the year, a Brooklyn woman invented an insert. It was made of coiled wire and padding for a corset that made the breasts look bigger. She filled the pads with bark, grass, or curled hair, which she thought would be sweat resistant. 400, that's the approximate number of women who protested the 1968 Miss America pageant by throwing what they called instruments of female torture. Nonetheless, the phrase bra burning was born. And 10 years ago, the average American bra size, 36C. Today, it's a 36 double D. But keep that in mind here, experts estimate 80% of women actually wear the wrong size bra. And 1950s, that's the decade training bras for adolescents were first made.
Fashion Week is here. Along with the new looks, there's another change happening this year. The models have to follow weight guidelines. Here to talk about those new guidelines is certified nutritional consultant Carol Cottrell. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning.
A lot of this change was driven by designer Diane von Furstenberg. What are the new guidelines, and are they more realistic?
I think they're realistic, but they're kind of vague. One of the guidelines is that they're going to provide healthy meals for the models. The question is, will they eat them?
Yeah, because oftentimes I've already eaten.
Right,
What
exactly.
about water? What about beverages? What about smoking? What about booze?
Exactly.
Okay, now would you consider this an example to set a strong example of a well-balanced and well-rounded life on the runway?
Look, I'm glad they're talking about it, so
Right.
it's a beginning, and I'm very hopeful that it will set an example, but it's just the beginning. It's a small piece of a big puzzle.
Okay, and the bottom line is we're not going to stop looking at magazines and fashion shows, so how do we create a positive body image for ourselves?
See, that's just the thing, because we are going to look at magazines. That's where we go. We go to Glamour and 17, especially young women. They don't go to a counselor
Right.
to find out, you know, why do I have this obsession with my weight? So really, it's a question of values, and values always start at home. And I think that, you know, as parents and role models, we really need to take a more active role and set a positive example.
I think it's tough though, Carol, because when you look at television, and especially teens watching television, they're so influenced by what they see. So as a parent, how can you guide your teenage daughter into looking past those pages, past the runway?
Well, again, I think that, you know, I work with a lot of clients where the mothers will say to the children, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. How am I going to fit into the dress that I need to wear to this party? Kids hear all of that. It really starts at home.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember my mom talking about the skinny pair of jeans she kept up, you know, on the shelf in the closet.
Right. Or the cottage cheese and the pears, you know?
Yes.
So it really truly starts at home. We have to take responsibility for that.
And also be careful about how you talk about dieting
Right.
around your children, right?
Exactly.
Any sort of tips for a mom who might be on a diet and trying to kind of create that positive
Yeah,
environment?
I think that we need to start talking about the things that we enjoy in life, in living, the creative endeavors that we're involved in, things that are outside of the way that we look, the beauty from within.
Sure. Carol, thank you so much. For more
Thank you.
information, we will link you up to all of Carol's tips on our website.
Coming up after the break, how celebrity style has changed over the years, and find out how to use Pinterest to improve your business next.
This is crazy, but here's my number. So call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number. So call me maybe. Call me maybe.
You have a small business, so who is fighting issues on Capitol Hill to protect your business? Here this morning with more is Let's Talk Business, Carolyn and Addison. Good morning, you two.
Good morning, Andrea.
Addison, let's start with you. What is an industry association?
It's actually a sector or trade association that is funded by businesses. They're usually nonpartisan.
Okay, and Carolyn, what is the benefit of being involved with Small Business Industry Association?
Well, small business really need a lobbying association like the National Small Business Association. They're a great resource for research and also industry trends. And also, in addition to that, they bring a great deal of value to their membership. And so our guest this morning, Molly Brogan, will talk a little bit more about membership, being involved with the NSBA and also public policy.
Well, now joining us this morning via Skype is VP of Public Affairs for the National Small Business Association, Molly Brogan. Welcome, Molly.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us more about NSBA and the benefits of being involved.
Well, NSBA is the longest running small business organization in the country. We're celebrating our 75th anniversary this year. We operate on a staunchly nonpartisan basis, and essentially what we do is serve as a government affairs department for America's small business owners. We all hear every day about the massive lobbying operations that larger corporations have. Small businesses just can't afford that. So that's what NSBA is here to do. We poll our members on a number of issues throughout the year. They tell us what issues matter most to them. Right now, tax reform, keeping health insurance costs low, easing regulatory burden are some of their key issues. From there, we head up to Capitol Hill and do our best to get lawmakers to both understand the uniqueness of small business and legislate issues that will help foster small businesses.
All right, Molly, thank you so much. Being nonpartisan, I'm sure, helps a great deal as well. Some great advice there. You guys always have great picks of the week. Addison, what is your Let's Talk Biz best pick of the week?
This week, our pick is Expensify. Expensify is a great mobile application that's going to allow you to keep track of all of your business expenses. It's available for the iPad, the iPhone, the Android OS, and the Windows Phone. You can scan in receipts and actually directly match it up with the credit card that's used. You can map out and graph all of your expenses. It keeps track of a variety of different people, so it works for several users, but it's free for individual use.
That's nice, especially around tax season,
Oh,
too.
definitely. The IRS actually accepts the e-receipts that they make.
They do?
Yes.
Okay, that's a major bonus. Carolyn, can our viewers get more information after the show?
Oh yes, let's talk biz.biz for more information, tips and advice. And until next week, let's keep talking biz.
Let's do it. I like it. Some great information for small businesses, and I love the Expensify thing. That's wonderful. For more information, all you need to do is log on to letstalkbiz.biz, or you can also just head to our website, lifeloveshopping.com. You'll find all the information there and all the links you need, again, at lifeloveshopping.com.
We all love Pinterest, right? The site lets you virtually pin all of your favorite products and ideas, but did you know it can also help you boost your own business? So here's a little business pinning 101. First of all, if you get repins, you get followers. The best way to nab followers? Put a button on your blog to show visitors that you're on Pinterest. Also, clearly label your boards. Pinners need to easily see what you or your brand is all about, and they'll be more likely to follow you if they can understand the whole mess. And while you're staying organized, pin productively. Resist the urge to pin everything in sight. It'll just leave your followers overwhelmed. And remember, you can pin your own products and links as a marketing tool, but make sure you show some other users love too.
Now, if you've got crafty hands and can make amazing products, you should think about starting your own Etsy shop. What's Etsy, you ask? Etsy is a social commerce website focused on handmade or vintage items, as well as art and craft supplies. Here's some keys to success for new sellers. Key number 1, sell great products, sell something you love and something you believe in. If you're like most new sellers, you have other commitments and limited time. Selling something you will love will keep you motivated. Key number 2, add more items to your shop and get discovered. Buyers are more likely to find your shop from an item listing via a search engine or because it was featured somewhere. The more items you have, the more opportunities you have to be found. And key number 3, learn to take great pictures. Image is everything. Great pictures with awesome lighting will grab a buyer's attention while perusing search results and could get your item featured on Etsy.
I love Etsy. I've gotten a lot of gifts on it as well, so
okay.
Well, we've all changed our fashion sense as we've gotten older, and Jessica Reyes from our news partner, The Daily Buzz, is showing us the glamorous and not so glamorous celeb fashion changes over the years. Good morning, Jessica.
Well, good morning, and that's right. Celebrities change throughout the years, and their outfits show it. I'm going over the celeb looks that have certainly changed, mostly for the better. We start off with Britney Spears. In 2001, the pop star gives a sneak peek of her not that innocent look before hitting the MTV stage to perform I'm a Slave for You with a 7-foot python draped around her shoulders. Fast forward through a dominatrix-style outfit and a pretty vintage sequins dress, she revisits the leather, sequins, and boots of past ensembles in a significantly more muted way. Now, up next is one of my favorites, Beyonce Knowles. In 2004, hot on the heels of her solo success, the star sports a golden suit that is short on fabric. Fast forward many years, previous ensembles couldn't compare to the jaw-dropping impact of Beyonce's sophisticated orange gown, which played an integral part on her onstage baby announcement. And last but certainly not least, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. In 2000, Jenny from the Block arrives on the arms of her boyfriend back then, P. Diddy, in a belly-bearing white ensemble and fly girl-esque bandana. I do not like. Fast forward through different knee-high boots and hats, it's back to body-conscious dresses for their star. Well, that's it for the Celebrity Scoop, guys. Make sure to catch me weekdays on The Daily Buzz for more.
All right, just who could ever forget that Versace dress she wore?
Oh, the dress,
yes,
they call it.
That was it. Still more to come here on Life Love Shopping, why more and more restaurants want you to have it their way.
And we've got your best picks for dinner and a movie this weekend.
Your stare was holding, red jeans, skin was showing, hot night, wind was blowing. Where do you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you. This is crazy.
Come on, Harvard baseball team.
So call me maybe. It's hard to look right at your baby, but here's my number. So call me maybe. It's hard to look right at your baby, but here's my number. So call me maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number. So call me maybe.
Well, keeping kosher, lactose intolerant, better try somewhere else these days as more and more restaurants want you to have it their way. When you eat at Kenny Shopson's Diner on New York's Lower East Side, you play by his rules.
Peter was stuck in a rut. He only had macaroni and cheese or pancakes. Said, you decide. I can't decide which one I want today. So I said, yeah, I'll make them both at once. And I just made macaroni and cheese pancakes, and that was that.
Wow. More chefs like Kenny are now saying no way to substitutions. Ask for a substitution while ordering his famous mac and cheese pancakes and you will likely find yourself out on the curb. Compliments of Kenny. I know, I've been there. He's been in business for more than 40 years and has over 900 items on his menu. His restaurant seats about 20 people and customers wait hours to get in.
So they only seat 20 people, and you said he doesn't like more than 4 people at a table?
Yep, no more than 4 people at a table because he's got a kitchen that's basically the size of a closet.
Oh my gosh, and this is his book, and he reveals in the book if a customer says they have an allergy, he basically says, well, go eat at a hospital instead.
Yeah, eat me, the food and philosophy of Kenny Shopson. No substitution policy may be a sign of things to come in today's dining culture. Month-long waits in restaurants that don't take reservations are becoming the norm.
Maybe now this should be a hobby, just until you get your feet on the ground.
Dad, it doesn't work like that. I gotta pay my dues.
No, I gotta pay your dues. You gotta start taking responsibility for your life.
And then, all of a sudden, there she was. For the first time, he saw a world that was bigger than the one he'd been born into.
Okay, I gotta finish this.
Fine. We are missing out.
Finished.
Bradley Cooper just getting started in his new movie, The Words. He plays a struggling writer who finally hits it big after publishing what critics label the next great American novel. The only problem, he didn't write it. As his star rises, he must eventually pay the piper for stealing another man's work. Jeremy Irons, Dennis Quaid, and Olivia Wilde round out the all-star cast. Also opening on Friday, The Cold Light of Day, another hottie, Henry Cavill, stars as Will Shaw, who goes to Spain for a week-long sailing vacay. Things take a nasty turn when his family is kidnapped, all because of a mysterious briefcase. Bruce Willis and Sigourney Weaver also star.
I think I'd like to head in and see The Words.
That's
It
my
looks
pick for the
good.
weekend. The Words pay the full ticket price.
And you know, Bradley Cooper for a couple hours.
Ladies,
Win-win.
2 hours in the dark with Bradley Cooper. You can't go wrong. Here at Life Love Shopping, we want to connect with you. When we're not on TV, you can stay in touch by liking our Facebook page. You can follow and tweet us on Twitter at Life Love Shop.
Thank you for joining us today. We are here on WeTV every weekday morning.
Be good.
Bye.
You cookie showing and me hunger growing. Let's get skim milk flowing. We'll start, baby. Hey, me just met you. And this is crazy, but you got cookie. So share it maybe. It's hard to look at your snack, baby. But you got cookie. So share it maybe.